How's it going, everyone? It's that Blue Bath here, and welcome back to the channel and another car review. Now today, folks, it is a little bit grey and it is raining, but that's not going to stop me from reviewing an awesome hot hatch. And the hot hatch in question is this. There we have it, people. Today I have for you the Volkswagen Polo GTI. Now this is the Mark 6, the newest of its generation, and with it being the most modern in the lineup, it receives quite a few new features, such as a fully revamped design, an update to the performance, and a slightly bigger engine. Though it still has all the features that makes this car just as fun as it was and still is, such as the 6-speed DSG, the turbocharged engine, the front-wheel drive, and the very awesome and nice-sounding dual-exit exhaust system. Now, we can't also forget the classic tartan seats. I mean, it's an awesome throwback to the original GTIs, and I'm very glad that they've still kept that. Now, one thing to note that this is not a standard GTI, this is the GTI Plus, which receives even more features than the original GTI standard model, such as LED headlights, bumpers, wheels, and a few other bits as well. Most of the features lie within the interior, which we'll get to later on in the relevant sections. But these cars are absolutely fantastic, and to me, they are the original Golf GTI in a more modern form. But with all that being said, how about we pop the bonnet and see what has changed on the most recent Polo GTI. So here we are in the engine bay, and like I mentioned earlier, a few things have changed, mainly the performance and the size of the engine. Now in the Mark 5 GTI, you would receive a 1.8 litre turbocharged 4-cylinder, and that still pretty much is the same with the Mark 6. The main difference being that instead of a 1.8, you now receive a 2 litre, which also means a bit more performance. So instead of 183 brake horsepower, you now get 207, which is a very nice increase. But it wouldn't be a That Blue Bath car review without a modified car, and that's exactly what this is. So this has been tuned to 240 brake horsepower, which is very nice indeed.
Nice.
I mean, that's an insane power figure for a car like this, and it sends all of it to the front wheels. So this car is very nippy indeed. But paired with the 6-speed DSG, it means that this car can get around rather well. Crazy to think that the original Mark 1 GTI had 75 horsepower. Mad. Absolutely mad indeed. Things that have changed under here that allow it to get to that 240 brake horsepower figure is the induction kit and the tune. Very nice additions indeed. But the thing that I love the most that has changed on these and the Golfs is this, the manual strut for the bonnet. I'm so happy they brought this back. After years of gas struts, they finally have allowed us to put the bonnet up ourselves. I really do like that. It's a classic feature, and I'm glad that they are pretty much bringing them back to modern cars. But talking of modern, let's move on to the design. So one thing that has changed the most on this car, and the thing that you can definitely see that is different, is the aesthetics. Now, I was a big fan of the Mark 5 GTI. I think the design was simple but effective. It allowed it to be aggressive and sporty without being over the top. So when it came to the announcement of the new Mark 6, I didn't know what to expect. But believe me, folks, I'm definitely impressed. This is my first time seeing this generation of Polo, and wow, it is a stunning thing to look at. It is a looker, that is for sure. Now, the main things that have changed on this design are, well, pretty much everything. The colour as well is also an optional extra, which I'm not sure how much it costs, but it's definitely up there with some of the more premium colours, because from the factory, this is only available in white, which is still a really nice colour, but the others you would have to option. Some could be £750 all the way to £950, which I guess is sort of the usual price for optional extra colours. I mean, Podium Blue on the Abarth was £750 if you wanted it. So it's about right. But I would definitely get this colour right here. It's so nice. It's sort of a grey in a way, but I think there was a special name for it. I think it was limestone. I'm just going to check, guys. Was it limestone green?
Limestone grey.
Limestone grey. I don't know where I got green from there, guys. I was looking at my shoes. They're green. I don't know what I'm doing. It's raining, guys. You have to let me off for this one. But limestone grey. What a fantastic name, by the way. Really like that. It's like Nighthawk Black on the Hondas. I love the unique names for these colours. Paint on this car is absolutely immaculate. I mean, there are no faults on it. But if you guys would also like the same result, immaculate paint, gloss, matte, or metallic finish with no imperfections, then I've got the solution for you, because I have recently launched my new detailing business called That Blue Detailer. So if you'd like to head over to my Facebook page, you'll find the price and services list and a few cars that I've already worked on. And if it's something that you're interested in, feel free to drop me a message and I'll get straight to it on making your car look just as immaculate as this one. But with that aside, let's get back onto the review. Yeah, so we've got the red matching with the black and the grey. It's a really nice colour combo indeed. But let's get a little bit closer and chat about some of the design features. The front here is so nice indeed. It's a really wonderful design. It's smooth, yet has some really nice sporty features. The thing I like the most is this strip here, because it doesn't just stop at the headlights, it continues into them, which is a really nice design cue that they've done there. I love it, I really do. I mean, it would have been nice to end at the headlights, but to go into them as well, that is just so cool. I mean, the GTI offers so many nice little quirks and features on its styling that makes it definitely stand out from its other counterparts. Now, the rest of the bonnet as well is also really nice to look at. So you've got more lines into it. I mean, Volkswagen, they could have just not done anything with the bonnet, but they decided to put some nice sharp lines on it to give you more style, which is why I love these cars. They just look great. The rest of the bumper as well has some nice grills in it, so of course to cool everything down, and it is really nice under here. I'm going to say nice a lot today, guys. I know that's a problem of mine, but can you blame me? It is nice. We've got this nice lip down here as well, also finished off in that limestone grey. I was going to say green again. I don't know where I'm getting green from, but grey. Really cool. So overall, the front of this car is magnificent. It has a really fantastic styling. And one thing is this blacked out VW badge as well. Usually you would get the classic silver one, but I think that really works with the rest of the front because of course it's blacked out to match the black, the red and the grey. A lot of colours going on here, but they all work together. Let's move on to the side of the car. So here we are at the side profile, and again, this car just delivers on design. I mean, look at all of those awesome lines that you get on the car. I mean, like I said with the front, Volkswagen could have just left this blank and, you know, not done much, but they have really gone to town on this car. I mean, look at all of those smooth but sporty lines that you receive. It's like the A45, the older one anyway, where you get the lines up the doors and through the panels. This sort of has that same similar design, and you get that little black side skirt down there as well, just to add to the rest of the car. And you get that this little bit that comes out on the side of the door, which is also a nice little cue or quirk, I suppose. But the rest of it is just stunning to look at. Of course, you've got that classic GTI badge finished off in red on the wing there. But the thing that I like the most on the side are those wheels. So let's get a little bit closer to look at them. So here we are at the wheel, and I must say, this too is a whole nother topic on its own. I mean, just look at the design of this thing. Now, of course, this has changed because the original OEM wheel would be diamond cut. Now, I believe on the Plus model, you get these ones. On the original GTI, you do receive a different set of wheels, which both of them are really cool to look at, but I do prefer this design right here. I think it has a lot of shapes and style within it, and of course, the silver center cap is a nice addition too. So it's finished off in sort of a, I want to say matte black, which I believe is going to be changing in the future because the owner would like to do something different with it. He might go diamond cut, who knows? We'll have to see in the future in maybe another video. But this whole setup right here is really cool, and definitely a nice one at that, because we've got the wheel itself, the nice red caliper, the discs, and these are actually 18-inch wheels, which actually, I think would work for a Polo. Did you guys know that you could get 18-inch wheels on a Toyota Aygo X? Yeah, I don't know either, but 18s on this car definitely work, and I imagine they feel great on the road. The suspension is also different because we do have some lowered suspension on this. So I believe it's around 25 mil, which definitely allows it to sit really nice. The fitment is spot on, 10 out of 10. But I imagine it makes this car feel even better on the road as well, especially for handling. It must do so good through the corners. Of course, with all the other modes and stuff as well that this car has, all the features and technology, it must be a bundle of fun. But apart from that, let's now move on to one of my favorite areas, the rear end, because we have a big exhaust, and I like big exhausts. Coming to the back of the car now, and just like the rest of the car, it's smooth, simple, yet really effective, because we've got some nice sporty features, but it's not too over the top, which is why I really like modern day hatchbacks and hot hatches, because they have so much packed into one nice design, but there's not too much, it's just the right amount. So continuing the trend at the front, we do have a blacktail Volkswagen badge on the boot, which again looks really nice. I think it works with the rest of the colours. We have a really slick looking GTI badge in that sort of brand new font which I'm seeing recently. I don't know if it's like sort of a tribute to the original font on the GTIs or if this is just a new design that they're going for, but it's a very marvellous looking badge, and of course it lets you know it's a GTI. But the bottom of the bumper is where we want to concentrate on, because there's something down here that, well, looks pretty promising. So I'll just get you a little bit closer. We have a very big dual exit exhaust system. It's fully custom, and I believe it may be a decat. The owner isn't too sure. This is a brand new car for him, so he's not entirely certain of all of the modifications. But in the future, or if I do find out anything about it, it will be on the screen or in another video. But all I do know, it's big, it's awesome, it's chrome, and it looks sick. 10 out of 10, top notch. And the sound as well is also, really good. I heard it come in with the DSG. It was very spicy. You'll get a sound clip in a minute or two, guys. Don't you worry. I know you're waiting for that. It will be on its way. But you can get your fist in there. That's how big this exhaust is, guys. So you're going to have some great sound, that's for sure. But the rest of the bumper as well is really smooth, just like the top half. And one thing to note as well is this really slick looking spoiler. I believe it's a WRC spoiler for the Polo, which you can get on previous models and generations as well, which just fits straight on there. And I think that's a fantastic addition to this car. Adds a little bit to the side profile and a lot to the rear end. And everyone, so this is the part you've all been waiting for, and it's the best part of the video. It's the sound check. So let's get to it. Bloody hell. Whew, that was even better than I was expecting. These Polos sound absolutely amazing. But talking of amazing, let's now move on to the interior. So here we are, people, the interior of the lovely Polo GTI. Now, one thing that already stands out on camera are these godly tartan seats. I mean, they're just so cool. They are the holy grail of the GTI. I mean, you just got to have them in this car. I mean, if you don't have tartan seats in a GTI, then is it a GTI? But wow, they're also so comfy as well. I mean, I'm sat in the driver's seat and it's really comfy, and they're quite supportive as well. I feel quite in place, so I imagine they're great around corners and just, well, when you're having a bit of fun. Now, usually I do put the tripod on the passenger seat, guys, so you can see the whole interior, but they're just they're in such amazing condition. They're like fresh, brand new. I don't want to mark them, so out of respect for the owner, I'm going to do the original phone in hand method for you guys. You know, it's what we used to do, so I'm sure you guys won't mind. But you can see just how nice this interior is. I mean, there's a lot of space in here. It's very spacious, that's for sure. For a Polo, there's a lot of room. I mean, the Mark V and the previous gens were a bit smaller, I want to say. Definitely less room than it is in here, but really spacious. And we can't forget Charmander. Charmander is apparently the mascot of this car, and we're sort of matching, him and I. Pretty cool indeed. But Charmander's in here. He's the mascot for the GTI. So you guys can see the full extent of this interior. We also have this cool little bucket seat here, which I think is a phone holder. I mean, if it is, then that is such a unique phone holder. I need to know where you can buy one of those. That is the coolest thing ever. Oh, I love it. But the rest of the interior is really clean and tidy. Plus, it's like the exterior, simple but effective. It's tidy. Everything is where it needs to be, and it's not cluttered. It's a very, very well done design. Now, we do have a very big touchscreen here. I believe this is a 9.5 inch touchscreen that's only available in the Plus model. So if you have a normal GTI, you won't have this display. I believe they do come with a screen, but it's not as big as this one. But we do have a lot of features on this screen as well. Tons, like maps and sound, media, phone, everything you could need. And I believe there's also a performance screen on these. I could be wrong, but I believe there is. We also have an digital instrument cluster, which I think is standard on all GTIs. I'm not sure if there's anything different on the Plus model for this one, but I do know you get this, the start engine button, which is pretty awesome. So you do get keyless entry and keyless go on the Plus model, which is a very nice touch indeed, nice addition. And here is where you control and operate the 6-speed DSG gearbox. To know on these Mark 6 GTIs is that you don't actually get the option to spec one with a manual gearbox. So you can only get these in an automatic, which is fine because the 6-speed DSG is a fantastic gearbox to have, and it is really efficient when going up the gears. Manual, I guess, is a more classic thing to have, and a lot of people do prefer manual over auto, but personally, I'm not too fussed. I will take a DSG any day, and I'll also take a manual any day. I like both. You get quite a few buttons here as well, quite a few options. You get traction control, you do get automatic stop-start in these cars, which I don't know if really anyone uses it, but it can be handy in certain situations. You also do get a mode button, so you can select different modes when driving, whether that be comfort or sport. I don't know what modes these have. I do apologize, guys, but there might be a few different modes you can select, each of one making the car even faster or even softer and even nicer to drive. The handbrake as well is also finished in this nice leather design with some great stitching. We do have some red stitching on the tartan seats as well, and oh, I can't stop talking about these. They're so cool. We also have this really, really nice red dashboard. It's a really elegant thing to have in here, but also very sporty, of course. Red, continuing that aggressive theme, but it goes all the way to the door card as well. And we do have a nice design on the door card too. Very simple, very effective, very smooth, not too bad indeed. The materials in here as well are very top notch, I would say, for a car of this caliber. I mean, usually you just get the basic materials, but you do get, like I said, this nice red dash, some leather, Alcantara, some great stitching. Even the steering wheel has this really nice surround to it with this honeycomb material. And of course, you do get all of the features. I think, do you get cruise controllers? You don't get cruise control, but that's fine because, I mean, you're only using that on motorways, so that's all right. But I really do like the interior of this car. So nice. And we get this very sci-fi looking mirror here. I don't know if that's sort of a ridiculous thing to say, but it's a really, like, I don't know, futuristic, cool looking mirror. I don't know. Maybe I'm talking absolute rubbish, guys, but I really like the design of that. I think it's got a nice style. But back seats as well look phenomenal too. Everything in here is just fan-dabby doozy. Of course, as well, whilst we're in here, it'd be rude not to start it up whilst in the driver's seat. So doors slightly open so we can hear it from the outside. Foot on the brake. Whoa, what a startup. That's got a nice rumble to it. Of course, with it being a full custom exhaust, it does sound top notch, out of this world. With the door fully open there, you could hear how nice that exhaust sounds. Really rumbly, aggressive and sporty. We do have the performance monitor too. So we have turned the car on, which means we now get access to the screen. I shan't go on any other features, but here's the main one, which you're always going to be looking at. I mean, guys, you can't lie. You're going to have this screen on 24/7. We get a G meter, we get the boost gauge and temps as well. All you need, really. That's everything you need to look at on one fantastic looking screen. We also get some very nice GTI kick plates here as well, which I did notice when I got in the car. Those look fantastic too. Nice addition and really do add to this sporty theme. Oh, As you guys just heard, the car is warming up and we get that nice shift in the tone there. Still really, really cool to hear, but a lot more subtle now. One thing I just wanted to quickly point out as well are these Yokohama semi-slick tires. What? I mean, that is insane on a car like this. I bet they are phenomenal on the road. The front tires are, I believe, just the OEM standard tires. So maybe in the future we will see a full set of semi-slicks. But on the rear, we do have them equipped, which is absolutely madness to have them. But great. I mean, who doesn't love a good semi-slick tire? And they just look great. I mean, they remind me of the race tires from Forza. So that's absolutely awesome. So then, folks, that is everything for today's awesome car review. I'm so glad I've been able to review one of these. I mean, like I mentioned earlier, this is my first time seeing one of these in person. I've never seen a Mark 6 GTI. Now, at the start, the mirrors went in as well, and that's just so cool. You could just see how advanced this car is, guys. I mean, I wasn't even expecting that. That's awesome. But at the start of the video, I did mention that this is the newest version of the GTI, and that is because there is a Mark 7 Polo, but I'm not sure whether a GTI model has been released, hence why I've called this one the newest of the generations. But that is everything for today, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. I definitely did, and I hope to see this car in the future. We'll maybe get some, maybe a little driving video, record some stuff in the passenger seat, maybe a few flybys as well. That would be absolutely epic. But if you do want to see that in any other video in the future, then you guys know what to do. Hit that bell, like, comment, and subscribe, all that good stuff, because it's always appreciated. But even just on the camera, that's sitting there, it looks so just cool and awesome. But I'll see you guys in the future. Have a good one.
Bruh.